Historic District Property Commission is voting for June 2nd, 2002. We can review the minutes. Let's start with that. Can you see the minutes?
Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Here we go. And for those, it's a chance to write over them, make sure that everything is kosher.
And did you get the minutes I sent to you?
You didn't send it. You sent me another notice about the meeting. It doesn't matter though, because there's nothing I can say whether this is right or wrong. I wasn't at that meeting.
Right.
I wasn't worried about it.
Right. So, do I have a motion to accept the minutes as presented?
I so moved.
And a second?
Whatever you said.
Yes.
Second.
Thank you. Any changes, conditions, or conditions to it? All right. Accepted as is. Unfortunately, Lisa's not with us tonight. I don't see her. So accept the minutes as is. All in favor? Aye. Any abstains? Objective? So accepted as is. Thank you. Walking towards progression here, and then second session, I guess, for this.
All right. Steve and Barbara, do you want to provide? Is there any update to the walking tour?
Steve, are you able to update that comment to the
Did, yes. Yes, and it should be uploaded.
All right.
I don't see it there. It's in the SharePoint.
Yeah, was it just in the general Lovely Street comments?
Yes, comments. That should be the one.
Okay.
So I just added the architectural notes or descriptions to Barbara's historical social notes. And, you know, it was hard not to be repetitive in the structure of the paragraphs or the wording. So I'm welcoming any editing that anybody feels that can be done. And then, you know, how to integrate, you know, the architectural descriptions with the social historical descriptions. How do you integrate those and make them flow? You know, how much space would you have in a brochure? I tend to get a little wordy sometimes, and I thought I hoped I'd pared them down enough to you know, 4 to 7 sentences per building. So and, you know, please, you know, if anybody feels like I left something out that was significant to that particular building, you know.
Yeah, well, Matt, I've already asked Matt to read that over and add his expertise because he's an expert on it.
Yeah. Good. You know, I also, I kind of left out number 24, lovely.
Yeah.
And I guess that was the only one that I left out that
No, there's
does
another one
have,
that actually isn't on Lovely Street. I know that I did include.
yeah, you mean 156, formerly known as 156, which could be number 1 Sanford?
Yeah,
Okay. I think I may have left that one out as well.
okay.
But that one is significant, and it may have been 156 Stanford. I mean, lovely at one point, but in the more modern era, it may have gotten usurped by
I don't, yeah.
Stanford. But what's significant about it is that C. Robert Hawley, who temporarily lived at 87 Lovely, while he was building 156, subsequently moved to 156. So there was a significant person of the community, Sanford Hawley, Sanford's partner Hawley, and his family moved to 156, which may be now listed as, and we have to verify this with the town, is it number 1 Sanford? Or is it 152 or 156? Lovely. Anyway, it's the one of the pair adjacent to 164. I'm sorry, 162, 164, lovely. And they're kind of brother-sister houses, except the one on the corner of Sanford has aluminum siding, and it's lost a fair amount of its obvious detail. But it is a period house. It is of the Queen Anne structure, Victorian structure.
Steve, you said on the corner of Lovely and Sanford?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely Sanford.
All right, Sullivan. I don't want that. Merriman.
Keep going north toward Avon. Okay, there you go. Hold on.
Wait it.
Bring it back.
Oh,
yeah, so it's listed as
One
number
Sanford.
1. It is listed as number 1.
Yeah.
So
I did that.
It's on Lovely Street.
architecturally, it's not as interesting as 162 because it's lost a lot of its obvious exterior detail.
It's been denuded.
Yeah, but you know, but it is significant in the fact that Hawley lived there, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Well, I could go back next week and look up 1 Sanford and see how far back, what,
Yeah,
and put a little bit in there. Okay.
yeah. And we still need to get into the museum archives too, and hopefully score some more pictures, before and after pictures, for each of these houses.
Well, I think we have to kind of say, you know, we're going to do so much and then, or because this research can actually go on forever. So.
And it all has to fit on a brochure.
Right.
And right. I mean, it's, I think already a pretty big brochure.
Steve, are you looking for information from the Unionville Museum?
Yeah, to see if there's any pictures of any of the residences that are listed here.
Well, it's probably, if you can send me a list of the ones that you're interested in, I can. Is somebody else working for you on this, or?
Yeah, I have some of the pictures. Trying to think.
Yeah, Barbara's already started on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have some of the
know,
pictures that I found.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd be happy to help if you need any help. Let's put it that way.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll email you a list of the exact addresses of all the buildings that we're considering, and they're also listed, you know, on the SharePoint tour, the walking tour. They're already imaged and identified there as well. The current pictures of them.
As far as the text, I can, once we're kind of there, I can start trying to lay it out and we'll just
Yeah.
see how it fits. And we might have to, there might be sections that even after it gets laid out that we might have to pare down.
There's
I
20
I hate to keep bumping in here, but I missed a few meetings here, and I didn't get, I don't seem to have a copy of the wording that Steve was talking about earlier. So could I get a hold of that?
With what? I'm sorry, which are we talking about?
Was it sent out to everyone?
Yes.
Is this something that I missed somehow? Okay.
Yes,
I'm
Garrett
gonna
sent it out.
enter-
Garrett sent it out, bulk email, links to the SharePoint.
Okay, well, I don't have it, let me put it that way,
Okay,
and I would like to see it.
Okay.
absolutely, yeah. We will get it to you.
Thanks.
There's 26 houses.
Is it really?
Well, if we include 24 and number 1 Sanford, yeah, there's 26 houses.
I think you should concentrate especially on the ones that are in the historic district.
District.
Well, that would be less than half, sadly.
Yeah, there aren't very many.
It would be less than half.
Right.
But
Yeah,
again,
there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
It's six.
5, 6, 7 on Lovely Street. Sorry, 6. That's on Main Street.
First have those and then work off the most exciting ones on other than, so you don't have to do them all.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
that could be
but-
a harsh reality of the brochure.
We could do that.
Yes.
Of course, some of the other homes may be really interesting. I mean, that's why I bothered, and we could see, yeah, that story isn't of value and this one is. So I don't, you know,
And they're all pre-1925, with a good chunk of them 19th century. So age, you know,
they're all
the age,
19. Hmm? Yeah, just a few. I did send an email to PR at Tunx's Hose, and hopefully he'll get back to us if they want to be part or not. I don't know. It's a beautiful building, and there are always questions about it.
yeah. Yeah,
I think the old Tunx's Hose is in one of our other brochures, walking tours already.
Could be. Oh, look.
Because I remember working with the picture that we had to end up having to take a new picture because the picture that we had a telephone line or an electrical line going through it. So we ended up grabbing a new picture. But I do, if memory serves me right, we've got Tunx's Hose already in one of the walking tours.
Mhm.
they're definitely listed.
I'll take a look at it. I've got copies in my office, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
brochures.
And we're going to walk by it. So, I mean, even if we don't go into detail, just
Yeah.
the uniqueness of the architecture is, I think, certainly something that's worth mentioning. And any business that is still in use with the building, I think is worth mentioning. Because that's what we want. We don't want another restructuring to tear everything down.
True.
Matt, your file that you sent on your the Mason building, it's just fantastic. Sonic building.
Thanks.
That was very good. Very nice. Very well
Thanks.
done.
Yeah.
Okay, let me go on. Okay, 4042. Okay.
So that's an important point. We're really going to have to know the limitations of the brochure.
Right.
When we're giving a walking tour, an educational
You could have extras.
event, we can include anything
Right.
we
Yeah,
want.
you and I don't read
Right.
everything. Just hit the highlights.
That's why I
Comment.
think
Someone
with
questions. Yeah.
what Bob was saying, like we take the core properties that are already part of the district, and maybe we hit another, if that's 6, maybe we hit another 6 or 7, that are the most significant, and put those into the brochure. But then if we're offering a walking tour, we've got the scripts or we've got the information that we can touch on as we're walking by as well.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So another filtering process.
Absolutely.
Really, literally cut it in half, get it down to maybe a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what we did on the other brochures, we typically had 2 properties per page, and that was with picture and text. If we go a little bit heavier on the text, we can do 1 property per page with a picture and text. So that's roughly 12 pages there already. So
Mhm.
plus you've got the cover and potentially an inset as well. So that's 14 pages. And so I mean we're bumping up in terms of getting up there in terms of cost when it comes
Right.
time to print them as
Right.
well.
And of course, if you add some of the additional pictures that I put in, because I thought the stories behind them were interesting, but again, I mean, it's going to be a joint effort with all of us. I mean,
Yeah.
You guys have to look at it, see what's useful.
And there could be a few versions. We could have an online version where
Yeah,
you're
we
not
talked-
limited at all. Then you have the
Yeah.
brochure version.
And I would say for the online version, just the PowerPoint, you probably just want to do that because that gives you pictures and text, and file size for a PowerPoint,
It doesn't
it's
matter.
unlimited theoretically, for at least for the website.
Yeah,
Yes.
how much money do we have to
If-
put this into a book form again? Do we have any funds set aside, or are we limited?
I will check. I don't know off the top of my head, but I will check the finance department to find out how much money we have in our account.
If you guys share if you've got the list itself versus this with all the text and everything, although I'll need that as well. I went searching through my email to find the link for the SharePoint and I can't find it either. But I'm thinking we could put the property, the addresses into a survey, like a Google form, and send it out amongst all of us, and everybody read through, and you check. We already know that the 6 properties that are in the district are going to be in, and then you guys get to vote, and then at our next meeting we tally up the votes at that point and see
Yeah.
where we land.
Okay.
Good idea.
I think that would be great. So we'll move on to our next part, is the guidelines. I think we
Okay.
can go with that.
All right, let me guidelines.
Okay.
And the only person we're missing is Lisa, so I think we have enough form to go ahead and move forward.
Yep, let me just, I don't remember which one.
I don't think there was anything. I didn't think there was anything left on this.
I didn't think so
We were just waiting for
either.
a full quorum.
Right.
Yeah, just so it was, I mean, we've had a quorum, it was just waiting for
Lisa.
the major, yeah, hoping for Lisa, but at least the majority. Let's see, is there any? All right, let me just run through and make sure, see if there's anything left we haven't talked about yet or haven't decided on. Porches and steps, additional, can everyone see what's on the screen?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Porches and steps, we'd just be adding additional porches and steps may be constructed and existing porches and steps may be extended. However, when visible from the street line should match the existing style. I know Steve had wanted to do a little insider trading with this when he extends his deck, but is
Not gonna
everyone
happen
okay with
this
this
year.
wording?
You got a little while. No rush.
Anyone have any objections or changes to this wording? Nope. All right.
Parking.
Parking pursuant to, I think we had to add this section. Pursuant to Connecticut general statutes or Connecticut state statutes, I'm sorry. In passing on upon appropriateness as to parking, the commission shall take into consideration the size of such parking area, the visibility of cars parked therein, the closeness of such area to adjacent buildings, and other similar factors. I think this only comes into play with commercial buildings because they were the
Businesses.
only one where you'd be
Wasn't there
approved.
something, I'm sorry, wasn't there something about hiding the parking with, you know, plants or whatever when possible?
No, that was the electric vehicle charger.
Okay, so
that
but
we
parking
discussed.
is, because I know even when we were talking about the Iron Bank, we were looking at that there was plantings both behind because there are houses behind there and also in front. So, you know, yes, there's parking, but it's not glaring. But I don't know if that was a requirement or it was just a nicety.
I don't know, obviously, because I was not here when Ion Bank came through. It might have just been a nicety because they're a bank, they want people to see their building. And there's no real parking in the front of the building. It is on the side of the building. So it's
Right.
not necessarily pushing the building further. I mean, there's the driveway in front, but it's not necessarily
Mhm.
pushing the building further away from the road.
Mhm.
And it's meant to look like it fits in. It's not this, it's not a historic building. So it wouldn't really apply. It's more of just review. I think it was just reviewing at the time, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I mean, we can put in that it's recommended, because I know that we can't require landscaping or anything like that, but we can put in that it's recommended to have parking screened or softened from the street view
Okay.
or something like that.
Okay.
Anyone thoughts on that? Anyone else thoughts on that? No. All right. So all right. So I would just add it is recommended that parking be screened from the street when feasible.
Okay.
Sound good?
Anybody object to it?
No, sounds good to me.
Great.
All right.
On to the next one.
That is it. Everything else we discussed.
Okay. All right.
So we're back to the top.
Oh, that does it. So we'll need a vote here on this. And all in favor would be here. Aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Do we have a sorry, Bob, did we have a motion in a
We have a
second?
motion.
Make a motion to be approved. I'm sorry. make a motion?
That's it.
I
And
second it.
Thank you.
Whatever.
And all approve?
Right.
Yep. Aye.
Yeah.
And the abstains? Objections? This is it for the next time. Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
I remember to put
Okay.
myself back on again here. We haven't had any, as far as I know, any houses that are interested in coming back in the district. What happened to the one on Key Place? Is any word
I
on
don't
that?
know. She might come back in the future. If we get others interested to join the district, if we get enough people, I'll reach out to her again to see if she's interested in joining. But at the time, she was the only person, so we're hoping to see if there was anyone else involved, and then she ended up dropping out, so we had no one.
Okay, we're good then on our main agenda anyway. Has anybody thought of any subject to talk about for future sessions or meetings?
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Steve.
I was watching the Memorial Day parade downtown this year, and I saw the Farmington Historic Society with two people in costume or in dress representing, and I think there could be an opportunity here for a little promotion, a little
Fun.
image. Memorial Day might be more appropriate than 4th of July. We're trying to memorialize some of Unionville history.
Steve, was it the historic district or the
Historic Society.
Oh,
The
okay.
Historical
It
Society.
wasn't an actual parallel. I was just thinking of an idea, like, wouldn't it be interesting? Wouldn't it be make people think? I don't know. But
Well, what would be interesting,
it's sort of
would be-
whimsical.
yeah, are you talking about the parade itself or in the
Yeah.
parade itself or yeah. One thing that I thought of as far as the day is concerned, I guess you'd say, is that we have never done anything about the Unionville rebuilding the list of names for Unionville for World War I and World War II. Now they've done that for Farmington, and it's in the town hall, but they lied to us. The people that were doing it at the time lied to us about that it was going to be Unionville and Farmington supposedly, and there's no Unionville people there. My father isn't there, for example. So that ought to be something that we might want to. There used to be a big sign on the property of the church, the one that got taken down, and they never put it back up again. And much later, they did something about this Farmington one, but didn't include Unionville. So there's nothing there that helps us remember the people from Unionville that went into the service. Just a thought. I mean, I know it isn't about houses or anything, but still.
No, that's actually more appropriate. It makes me think that my idea might be disrespecting the whole idea of Memorial Day, which is to honor soldiers who have fallen in duty or whatever. And that's actually more important than us, a few of us holding up a sign and marching,
Yeah,
And the museum doesn't have a list, do they?
a list of the people.
Yeah,
Sure.
of the honor roll.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we have several of them.
Okay.
And would they appear on the granite stones in front of the town hall?
No, that's just, I
Oh,
think
what-
that's just
those are
the
the
branch
dead
of the
people.
military. There is an honor roll inside of town hall,
Yeah.
just past the Board of Ed.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was
yeah.
outside the church. So,
The outside one is just people that died.
isn't there an honor roll down there at the corner
What corner?
of Farmington and Lovely?
There used
Not
to
any
be,
longer.
when the Episcopal Church was still there.
Where,
It was
no,
right
the
on
church
line.
obviously isn't there, but I don't know. I thought when I was driving by the other day, I still saw what looked like an honor roll.
There's a stone there with the wreaths in front of it.
I think there's something there, but it's not,
Yeah.
it doesn't have all the names on it. I don't remember off the like top of my head what's on it. It's just some kind of a memorial sort of thing,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yes, you're right in saying that's where they used to put the wreaths and everything. So, and that was put in after the church was destroyed.
Well,
I don't know. It's just something that just to keep in mind if there's a way for. I'd like the museum to take advantage of it as well, but we haven't made any progress.
yeah. Huh. Well, maybe it's an opportunity to erect one either near the graveyard or near the museum or somewhere else
Hmm.
prominently in town, Brooks Common, something like that. There could be
Yeah.
a place for that. Anyway, I retract my idea about marching in the parade.
And how is
Not a
the
terrible idea.
construction going on in the museum there?
It's coming along pretty well. It's I wasn't on the committee, but so I've been kind of watching it just to fill in what I didn't know. And it looks as though they've got they haven't, the last time I looked, they hadn't gotten to the point of like putting on the door, for example. But the rooms that are in there are divided up, and they put in a lot of the the electricity and the
Plumbing.
water and plumbing and stuff like that. Yeah, and I think they've somebody's done some shopping for stuff for the that has to go in there, like
Cabinetry, refrigeration.
yeah. So that's a lot. There's still there seems to be. I haven't been down there much during the week, but it doesn't seem to me that there's a lot of people there actually putting in some of these things yet. So I don't know what the holdup is, if they're waiting for some underlying stuff to get done or whatever. I noticed that they replanted the whole lawn on the other on the end closest to the fire department, and I think that's because they had to dig it up to get water mains in and stuff like that. So it's coming along. They've done they've already put a slanted a sloping piece of cement that goes down from the porch coming out. And that's going to make it available to people in wheelchairs to get out that way. And I believe that when that came up before us, I think we were talking about having a sidewalk go straight out to the driveway. And I think that's what, it looks to me like that's what they're planning to do. And I haven't seen anything for putting in anything to go around front. So I guess they pretty much dropped that idea.
So it looks like we won't need any meetings for a COA for that, looks right.
Oh. I think everything that is being done came before us, as far as I know.
Guys, I think we're done with everything that you need voting members for.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to leave.
Barbara, real quick before you leave, just
Thank
for
you.
everyone. Barbara,
Yeah,
hold- just
Steve,
real quick. So the
Yeah.
next meeting is supposed to be July 7th, which is the week of July
Yeah.
4th. If anyone's not going to make it, just let me know as soon as you can. So that way, if we find out there's not going to be a quorum, we'll cancel the meeting.
okay, all right. Okay, all right. Yeah. Steve, I'll put together, send me a Word document of the whole file, and I'll get that, or I'll go through it once more, and then I'll get that over to Matt. And
Okay.
I'll send Matt all the extra pictures I have, and you'll have to put together some kind of a file of the, I don't know, do you want raw camera? However, yeah,
Raw camera's good. That's
Yeah.
the best because then
Okay.
I can resize them as necessary.
right. Okay, guys, I gotta go. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Barbara. You well. Stay strong.
Thank you.
Thank you. If anybody has any topics that they want to have presentations on, please submit them so we can work on that. And do I have a motion for adjournment? For joining?
Adjournment.
Excuse me.
Motion to adjourn.
Second motion.
No, Bob, you're on mute again.
Thank you. We'll see you next month.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bob.
Thank you, everyone.
Right.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night. Bye.